We all, this is just basically an example of a pet go kit. I personally, since I have 2 dogs, I have a big plastic tub that I keep all of my stuff in because I need twice of everything. One thing I've learned a long time ago is you need at least a 3-day supply of water for each pet. Make sure you store your water in a separate tub or check it frequently, because after a while water might tend to leak and ruin everything you have in your go kit. This is a bag. You can use just a plain old cargo bag or one of the cheap plastic tubs. In that, you want to make sure you have like a pet throw. A flashlight is always good, or you can buy the little plastic flares that you can stick in the ground. Those are really good to have. What we call puppy pickups or puppy poop sacks. Trash bags to contain any large quantities of trash or cleanup. Paper towels. It's not a bad idea to throw some baby wipes in there too, because those are really good for cleanup. Try and have an extra leash, an extra collar, or one of these combination collar leashes. Those are very good to have in there. I throw usually a couple of the extra leashes that your vets usually will have, the slip leashes. I have a couple of those in my go bag. Actually, I have about 5 in my go bag. Here's a stake and a long tie-out leash, so that if you're in an area and your dog needs exercise, you can go ahead and put a stake in the ground and tie him out, especially since in a storm your fences are probably going to go. So even if your house doesn't sustain damage, if your fence does, then you'd have a place that you could put them out. Their favorite toy. First aid books are very valuable. You can get these from the American Red Cross. Most of them have a CD. This happens to be a dog first aid book. My own personal go kit has an animal first aid book. There's also a Red Cross has a pet first aid app, and it's, I believe, $1.99. It's a really good thing to have on your phone, along with their tornado app and their first aid app. Those are good things to have on your smartphones. Dawn dishwashing liquid. It is the best degreaser or to decontaminate an animal that may have gone through, spilled oil, spilled gasoline, anything. This is what they use to decontaminate animals in decon stations. There's some commercial ones, but Dawn is about the best there is out there, because in a disaster situation, you never know what your animals are going to be exposed to. So throw some Dawn in there. Throw some hand sanitizer in there. It's just a good thing to have. Pet first aid kit. Very good item to keep in your go bag. Human first aid kits are fine. They have typically a lot of the same things. What you can do to supplement a human first aid kit is maybe buy some larger gauze pads and go to your regular farm supply store and buy what they call vet wrap. And it is a self-sticking elasticized wrap, and that helps to cover an injury on a leg or something like that that you would need a larger area wrap. Get you some larger gauze pads and throw in there. Put them in a plastic bag and just add it to your kit. Rule of thumb is 3-day supply of food for each pet. Make sure you have some bowls in there. I will tell you what I like to do is buy the little plastic throwaway tubs that you can get in any grocery store. The little, I'm not going to throw a brand name out there, but just the little typical plastic tubs. Those are perfect for water and for feed. The deeper ones work well for water. The smaller ones work for feed. They do have collapsible water bowls you can buy. These take up a lot of room in a go bag, but you need one for water, you need one for feed. A spoon, a manual can opener, especially if your animal eats canned food. You want to make sure that you do have a manual can opener. Their favorite treat, any kind of high value treat, because this is going to be a stressful situation for them. Also, what we recommend everybody do, and we keep these ourselves and we hand them out, they're a pet emergency information sheet. On this sheet you would put your name, your address, the name of your emergency pet guardian, your vet. If you have microchip information, put that on there. Put their rabies license tag number on there, your phone numbers, any medical conditions or allergies your pet may have, any dietary requirements the pet may have. If they're on medication, we need to know what medication they're on. If they have any special behavioral habits. There are some dogs, such as my Scottish Terrier, that are dog aggressive. We'd probably want to put him in a kennel location where he wasn't seeing other dogs. If your dog is timid, we would probably need to know that so we could handle your dog a little special, give it a little different, better treatment. Attached to this, a copy of their rabies certificates, their vaccination certificates, their microchip certificates, and make sure you attach pictures of your pet. Staple a picture of your pet to them. Ideally, it should be a picture of you and your pet together, but if you don't have that, make sure you've got a paper copy of a photo of your pet. And also, it's a good idea to keep a photo of your pet on your phone so that you can show that to any emergency shelter to identify your pet. I take mine and I put them in a big 2-gallon plastic Ziploc bag and store all my pet information in there, and that's in my go bag. If I would ever have to evacuate and take my dog to an emergency pet shelter, I could hand that to the intake staff, and they would immediately know everything they need to know to take care of my pet and where the best situation to put my pet. If we don't know an animal's vaccination status, they're going to end up in an animal quarantine area, and they may be exposed to dogs that have not received their vaccinations. But if we know the animal's properly vaccinated, then it's probably going to go into a general population kennel, and we're going to know if they need to have covers over their crates to keep them from seeing other dogs, if they need to be with their companion dog, something that might be unusual to us and that we wouldn't know about. Always make sure that you go through this kit about every 2 to 3 months. Make sure everything's fresh and current in it. Replace what needs to be replaced. I keep my dog food. My dogs are on dry dog food, so I just keep a big Ziploc bag for each dog and label it with that dog's name. They happen to eat the same kind, but if they would eat separate, label it with a big Sharpie so we know which dog's food goes to which dog. The portable pop-up crates, as you can see, that thing is huge. A large crate for this dog would be very hard to carry. That one's not. Make sure that your pets are microchipped and identified. That's the best thing you can do to make sure you get your dog back to you. If your pet is microchipped, make sure that the microchip company has your current information.